Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I am doing my December book haul. I neither bought nor received, well, that's a lie. I did not buy as many books in December. I did get a few as gifts, so I will talk about those. But it looks like I have maybe 10 here. I am excited about them. Several of them were thrift books buys, which is always lovely. Ooh, let me grab the other one. Alright, so we'll start with this one. I had this book as a kid and I loved it. I don't know where it went. I assume when my sister and I moved out of our parents' one house, my mom either took it to her classroom with her or got rid of it. But I went to Thrift Books and found it, and that is Miss Frizzle's Adventures Ancient Egypt by Joanna Cole and Bruce Dagan. This is just, if you know Magic School Bus, you know they go back in time, they shrink down into molecular sizes and they go to planets and all sorts of stuff, and they learned about all this kind of stuff. So that's what they're doing here, and I think it's really cute. I thoroughly enjoy having children's books on hand because sometimes you don't want the hassle of having to actually read things, you just want pictures. And again, I remember enjoying this book. So I've already read it again and I do love it, but I bought this one. I also bought City of Islands by Callie Wallace. This one intrigued me, although to be fair, it intrigued me long enough ago that I don't really remember why. So it says, in a foggy archipelago called the City of Islands, magic drifts on the air as songs. 12-year-old Mara has always been fascinated by the spell songs and dreams of becoming a great mage. Orphaned as a little girl, Mara was taken in by a bone mage called Bindi. But when Bindi was killed by a rival, Mara lost her home and her chance to learn magic. Now she's a servant for the powerful Lady of the Tides. She earns her keep by diving in the murky ocean, searching for magical treasures that might please the lady. Then she makes a startling discovery: a pile of skeletons on the floor. But they seem to belong to strange hybrid creatures like a lizard with wings, a horse with horns, and many more. The entire trove of bones is humming with a powerful spell song. Mara is convinced that her discovery will earn her the opportunity to study magic. But rather than rewarding her, the lady gives Mara a challenge: to learn where the magical bones came from by sneaking into the Winterblade, an island fortress ruled by the very same sorcerer who killed Bindi years ago. What Mara finds will reveal chilling truths about her own past, as well as secrets, and now I can't talk, secrets about the history of her beloved city that are more dangerous than she'd ever imagined. That sounds fantastic, actually. A nautical-based fantasy, I'm down for that. So, yeah, that's what this one's about. It sounds really good. Again, I got it from Thrift Books. It's in great condition. So, I don't know when I'm going to read this, but there will be a book buying ban this year. My cousin Lon is going to keep me on track. I have to read 25 of the books I physically own before I can buy another new one, with the exception of the 7 pre-orders I've had for several months. One of which, yes, includes Winterkeep by Kristen Kishore. Because duh. So, that's this one. So the next 2 at least are gifts, and I'll specify which ones are gifts and which are not. But this is from Abby from Autumn of Pelennor, whose channel I will link in the description box below. My phone's vibrating. Anyway, this one came with a note that said it's on her physical TBR as well, and she's really intrigued, so she hopes we both like it. And that is Other Words for Smoke by Sarah Maria Griffin. This, I can't quite explain it, so I'm just going to read it. In the house at the end of the lane, there is a darkness hiding in the walls, waiting, watching, consuming. It will devour everything you have, everything you're willing to give, and everything you are not. Watch yourself. If you're not careful, it will all come tumbling down. Which sounds like a thriller, so I'm a little bit nervous about that because I don't generally do them. However, I'm excited. We're planning on buddy reading this at some point. I don't know when because schedules. But it sounds really creepy and edge of your seat-ish, so I'm excited. So thank you, because that cover is really pretty. She also got me I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai by Malala. That's on me. I need to learn how to pronounce her last name. I sort of filmed spur of the moment. Anyway, I have read this one. I read this on my Kindle when I was in Nicaragua, December of 2016 into January of 2017 to visit Katie. I think this is a very interesting book. I think it's important to be aware I had a couple of reservations at the time just because of the way it was framed. So I'm really curious to reread it sometime in the next couple years and see if I was just being ridiculous or if it actually is framed that way, particularly now that I've finished law school and actually really know how to frame and how to catch things that are being framed. Not perfect, but I'm much better than I was then. So, another gift from Abby, and I'm very excited because this is actually a book that I did want on my physical TBR because I think, particularly when it comes to nonfiction, there's a difference, for me anyway, in the reading experience when I read it physically versus Kindle versus audiobook. I don't get as much out of it in an audiobook format. I get so much more in a physical format. And again, I really want to see if it was just in my head or not. However, if you don't know who Malala is, she was a girl in Pakistan, close but not quite, Pakistan, who was going to school, getting an education, and then she got shot by the Taliban because she was going to school and getting an education, and God forbid girls should be educated. She is now doing well. She and her family emigrated to the UK, and she just graduated from Oxford, I want to say last year, 2020, but 2020 was a decade and it's still going, so I don't know. Recently-ish. But yeah, amazing story, amazing perseverance, and really unfortunate reason for that, but like I said, I want to read it. Two that I bought for myself. One is Where the Light Enters by Jill Biden. So the book club that I'm a part of is going to read this for January. It's very short, so I can finish this very quickly, which is lovely. But given the whole, inauguration thing that's meant to happen this month, and that Miss, is she a doctor? I don't know. Yep, doctor. She is a doctor. Given that Dr. Biden is going to be our new First Lady come January 20th? 20th, right? 22nd? This month. It seemed like a good time to read it, so I went and bought it so that I could read it sooner. To be fair, we're not discussing it until February, but that's not the point. At any rate, I bought this one. I also bought The Case of the Spellbound Child by Mercedes Lackey because Mercedes Lackey. Love her stuff. This is part of her Elementals series. I didn't even look at the summary because, again, Mercedes Lackey. Another one I bought is Worldwide Vet by Dr. Evan Anton. He goes around the world helping animals and learning, and I think that's really fun. He came out with a book and I got it on sale, which was definitely the cheapest I was ever going to find this because it's a hardcover, so here in the States this tiny little book would cost $27. And now you want to tell me $27 for something that's, this big? Fine, I'm more willing to pay it. But this big? No. So I got a really good deal. But I am excited because I'm desperately wanting to learn more about animals and stuff like that, and this is just a fun way to do it. Alright, the last two that I bought are Cursive Roses by Diana Pinguicha and King of the Rising by Case and Calendar. River, are you okay? Don't mind the snoring puppies in the back. This one is the second in the Queen of the Conquered series, which I own, have not read yet, it's on my list. Basically, marginalized, oppressed people coming up and taking down the oppressors, which is always a fun story to read. So I am very excited about this because then I can just binge. I don't know if it's a duology or a series. The other one of Cursive Roses is, oh, this ought to be good. With just one touch, bread turns to roses. With just one bite, cheese turns to lilies. There's a famine in the land, and Princess Isabel is wasting food simply by trying to eat. Before she can swallow, her curse has turned her meal into a bouquet. She's on the verge of starving, which reminds her the people of Portugal have been enduring the same pain. If only it were possible to reverse her magic, then she could turn flowers into food. First of all, Portugal. You never see books in Portugal. Unless it's that one Jan Martel book, not Life of Pi, which was a shit book. The other one, High Mountains of Portugal. That one was interesting. Anyway, also this is a really fun twist on the fairy tale, I don't know if it's a trope, but that fairy tale element of be nice to a witch and she'll make diamonds and roses drop from your mouth every time you speak. Which seems very painful, but that's not the point. Yeah, very interesting take on that, and I like the cover, so why not? And then the last two are gifts, so I definitely got gifted a lot more books this Christmas. The first one is Patriot or Traitor by Anna Beer. This is a nonfiction about Walter Raleigh, and it came from one of my former coworkers and friends in Rochester. He knows that I am absolutely obsessed with Elizabeth. He is big into Shakespeare and pretty much anything. He's one of the smartest men I've met. One of the smartest people I've met, let's be real. And so he got me a book about Walter Raleigh. When I told him I'd gotten it, he said, "I'm glad you like it," because he wasn't sure if my interest in Elizabeth extended to her courtiers and her, I guess, employees, although they weren't called employees at the time. It definitely does. I love anything to do with Elizabeth, and that definitely includes Walter Raleigh. He's a fascinating person with what little I know about him, which is extraordinarily little, but I'm excited. And the last one is from one of my cousins that I live with. Well, one of Lon and Erica's kids. So I live with them, but there's 5 cousins. It makes it a little bit confusing. Anyway, I traveled home to Colorado for Christmas. My cousins and I have been scheming this for months, since July, because we talked to my parents, who invited all of us home for Christmas. I'm always invited, I'm their kid, but they invited Erica, Lon, and their kids, and we bought tickets to all go home, or all go to Colorado rather, in August, early August. But we decided we weren't going to tell the kids at all, not a thing, until the morning we left. We've been telling them that I'm leaving, or I was leaving, but they had no idea. So we told them the morning of, and they screamed and jumped, and it was amazing, and it was a fantastic Christmas. But before that, the eldest of them decided that he wanted to buy me a book I really wanted because I wasn't going to be here for my first Christmas with them, which just Grinch heart-growing 3 sizes right there. Oh my god, it was so cute. So I gave him a list of books, and he went and used his birthday Target gift card to buy me a book for Christmas. Yeah. And that book is Circe by Madeline Miller. I have read this book. I listened to it on audiobook last year. It feels really weird to be saying last year, by the way, because 2020 still feels like it's ongoing. Anyway, back to the heartwarming part of this. It is a retelling of Circe's story from the Odyssey by Homer, except, by Madeline Miller this time. I really enjoyed it. Again, I would like to read it in physical form because I do think I'll get more out of it, but I remember enjoying it, and I would like to read this. And it was just so sweet that he got me a book that I wanted. Oh my god. So this one will be close to my heart for a very long time. Those are all the books I got in December. Not nearly as bad as any other month last year, basically. And at least half of them were gifted to me, which is amazing. Oh, that's the other one. Abby also got me it's not a pamphlet, it's like a little informational kind of a booklet about Guy Fawkes, which I'm super excited about. If I could remember where I put it, that'd be lovely, but that's the hazard of rearranging your books. You don't know where things are. Anyway, thank you so much, Abby, for all of the books. I'm super excited for them, and particularly to buddy read Other Words from Smoke with you, which will be great. That's all I have. It's the second time I've said that now, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.